Good morning, Top Gun Options. Welcome aboard our weekly debrief this Thursday, July was 16th, man. Halfway through July. Unbelievable. Just hurtling towards a shit show fall. With kids not going back to school, just every day we seem to get hit with more crap. Good anecdotal, the lady that lives across the street, her housekeeper, she's legal, but I think her kid, I forget what the story is, but she cleans a house. If it's a big house, one house a day. If it's a medium house, two houses a day. First of all, she doesn't have a computer for her kids, so Palm Beach allegedly is supposed to be getting poor folks computers. But she's like, I can't. She's like, I'm going to have to leave my 10-year-old in charge of my 7-year-old. I can't. This is just, it's a disgrace. Teachers unions are a disgrace. Democrats are a disgrace. They're literally destroying this country for something that just is not. It's bad. I get it. I've had it in January. People have died from it. I get it. But this is just, it's absolute insanity what we're doing to our country. The cure really is turning out to be worse than the disease. Everybody got their FXI on? You should have woken up to some beautiful profits in FXI. I told you, it's like clockwork, man. This was free money. If you bought FXI puts, you did a bear call spread. Look at that chart. What did I tell you up here? I said this thing is going to implode. What did it do? It imploded in spectacular fashion. Hopefully you did a burner trade, or just even if you just bought puts, those things are looking fantastic. Just spectacular pop out of Chinese equities. So whenever you hear me say something like, I mean, this literally was shooting fish in a barrel, saying that this thing was going to implode. It ain't rocket surgery. I traded the last Chinese bubble, and this thing imploded. So that was free money. So anyway, that was beautiful. But China, absolute implosion. The rhetoric's getting worse. Pompeo's free world values rhetoric on Huawei ban is a big joke. Malicious Washington cannot kill Hong Kong. This is just China economic performance will crush U.S. lies. This is Pravda in the Soviet Union versus the United States. We are hurtling towards conflict with China, not just economic, I'd say armed conflict as well. We fought China before, folks, in a war. It's called the Korean War. Half the MiGs pilots shot down were Chinese pilots. The Battle of the Chosin Reservoir, Chesty Puller, surrounded by Chinese troops. We've been to war with China, and we will do it again. It's not a matter of if, but when. But it's our fault. Barack Hussein Obama walked us into this, and now Donald Trump's trying to clean it up. But he's got it tough. It's tough. How's he clean it up, man? Does he go to war? Does he go to war with China over Taiwan? Does he really kind of, in my opinion, was pretty limp-wristed with the whole Hong Kong crisis? John McCain moment for me when he was ripping Obama apart about Ukraine. You want to talk about not standing up to Putin? It's Barack Obama and the disgrace of Ukraine. But this is kind of, Trump's in a tough position with China. But we heard last week on a Friday afternoon, I was stunned that the market just kind of shrugged when he said, I'm not even thinking about a phase 2 trade deal with China. That was stunning. What was more stunning was this. Absolutely no move in the market at all. Actually, there was in the opposite direction. The market initially pulled back a little bit and then raced higher. And I wasn't Johnny on the spot to actually, it's insane. Do the exact opposite of what you think the market's going to do. I hear a lot of this, my calls, Skype, Zooms, all this stuff, going for a run and talking to people. It just doesn't, it just doesn't feel right. And more and more people are saying this. I mean, what was it? It was in, I posted it over in the Max Afterburner folks. This Reuters article. Billionaires look to reduce equities after turning quick profits. So there's a lot of, quote, the smart money this March to May bounce, a lot of people are starting to bail. This is your standard, Caddyshack. Here comes the dirty, unwashed masses. Here comes Dave Portnoy. I watched some of his thing this morning. I can't even. Again, he's of course going to rip apart Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger were sidelined in fear during the coronavirus crash. Bill Smead says, "Make way for the new king." I mean, the guy's just. I get it. That's part of the shtick, is just over the top self promotion that he's the smartest guy in the world. But this will end. I'm looking at FXI right here, right? So as billionaires don't get to be billionaires because they're stupid. Okay, so again, even today, you can't trade off the left side of a chart, but I'm telling you, in the almost 3 decades I've been doing this, anytime the rich have kind of casually walked towards the back of the theater, they have destroyed the pizza review guys. Okay, so and I've said this to you guys often as we are up here, right? I said I don't mind getting skinny and getting into cash. I don't mind missing out on a couple potential, upside points to be safe, to have confirmation. Nobody except me here and here times the market perfectly. I'm writing a book about it. What am I getting at? Nobody's really going to call this top to the day. It's going to be, somebody might. It ain't going to be me, because I'm hovering at the back of the movie theater. Got a lot in cash, ready for the potential pullback. But I'm telling you, man, when the billionaires are bailing, when a lot of the ladies and gentlemen that I talk to are kind of going, everything just is out of whack. Something, something small can blow up. Remember, the market only cares when it cares. When I'm sitting here going, I can't believe Trump just said that and the market didn't really move. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so remember some of the wisdoms, right? This is a hold your nose market right now. This is a, with one hand, you can bid the market higher. With the other hand, you have got to have one hand on the ejection handle, period. Because when, not if, it turns, it will turn violently. I briefed you earlier in the week. I said, you got to be Johnny on the spot, man. If we're not in a live trade brief when something bad happens, this is why you need to be over here in the afterburner. I should see it coming or hear it coming, whatever it's going to be. Very extent. This is why I built up a big network over 30 years, man, is to have this type of intel. But it's going to be violent. Okay. Again, trade the market you have, not the one you want. And I get Jerome, Uncle Jerome can just keep printing. But remember, I have to keep telling you this because it's a fact. The Fred Sanford will occur when the market just implodes and we don't even believe the Fed can help. For now, the hopium is working. Right? This is all hopium. This is hopium and dudes with knockoff Tommy Bahama shirts that need a shave. The market can't keep going up on that. It can, and I don't mind being wrong, but this is not a bullish chart anymore, folks. We've failed 3 or 4 times to get through here. That's not bullish. And we're just hanging under the ceiling. A little pop through it a couple times this week, and it's failed. That's not bullish, guys. We'll talk about Morgan Stanley in a couple minutes. Morgan Stanley, the financials crushed it this week. Why isn't the market ripping higher on good financials? Because they were bad. Okay, so Morgan Stanley, 45% jump in profit. The only reason they reported this, you say it with me, I nailed this week, guys. Got some good comments on the call this morning. I'm like, okay, I don't shun praise, but I was on the call going, most of you people are trading multi-billion-dollar portfolios, and you didn't expect that the financials would blow out due to trading. Well, and some of the guys that are at some of these houses can't say how they're doing clearly because that ain't no elite Ain't worth it, man. So they kind of sat on their hands. But yeah, I mean, there's the people that worked there knew they were trading pretty well, but they're like, dude, you nailed it. The FIC, this is all FIC, folks. Fixed income, currency, commodity, equities, all of them. Now, Gorman's a good dude. He's a good skipper. It's J.P. Morgan with Jamie Dimon. Gorman, uh, that's gold, silver, and then Goldman Sachs is my bronze medalist right now in the financials. But I would fade the hell out of the financials right now. Fade them, sell them like crazy. They are going to implode. When the implosion comes, these will be imploding. But this is the financial you needed to care about, not the Wall Street blue blood, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan. Which bank did you need to care about earnings? I just kind of gave you the first word of the answer. Bank of America. This is your corner bank, your car, your auto, your home loan, small business. Bank of America, 52%. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the canary in the coal mine of banks. Okay? Them being shitty is what you need to know about the financials, not the other three, Manny, Mo, and Jack. I don't care about their trading arms. If they couldn't make money trading the last quarter, they should all be shot. They're stupid. Anybody could have printed money last quarter. It's what happens after. So easiest money ever made in my life, second easiest money. Now it's going to be sporty. We'll see how the financials do this quarter when we got schools closed and Disney's going to close again. Disney got downgraded today. There go the airlines, casino, Vegas is closed. You name it. The shit shows are coming. Okay. So, second COVID wave. I don't even think there was 15 days to slow the spread. That's going to be out here, guys. We're going to have another one of these violent pullbacks. I guarantee you. But Bank of America is the canary in the coal mine for how the financials are doing. They're not. Bank of America doesn't have any massive trade. They do trade, but not. They don't. It's not Goldman Sachs. Okay. Blaine. Well, I covered this the other day. I just want to remind you, this was like Monday. Beware, bank trading gains may prove to be short-lived windfalls. I could have wrote this, right? Date, when's this going to happen? Guys, I've briefed you 1,000 times on this. There is going to be a September or October surprise out here, guys. October and February are the most volatile months of the year for the stock market. Okay. September or October. I believe October, since it's closer to the election. Something horrific is going to happen with the Democrats. They're already horrific. Russia, Iran, North Korea, China. Drink, DRINC. None of those letters in that acronym want Donald Trump to be president. Every letter in that acronym is going to do something to make that happen. Okay. How about this? This is why I'm selling the hell. I'm going to stay in Lulu because it is going to implode as well. What do you mean, Wiz? U.S. retail sales rose 7.5% in June. As stores reopened, they're closing again. What's the other reason you would sell retailers and especially high-end retailer like Lulu? Why? Clothing demand. They've already done it. So retail sales being up 7.5% in June, we're closing again. The Miami mayor already said if he sees another day like he saw like the other day, he's literally closing everything again. Nothing will be open, including stores. Okay, so this is it's a one-time spike in my opinion. I am Lulu. I've stocked up on Lulu for the past 2 months, and now I'm sick of it. Exactly, Elizabeth. That's a great point. There ain't going to be no what, folks. A lot of retailers count on what in August? Back to school shopping, right? I'm just thinking about the economic impact, all this stuff. NCAA, no college football in the fall? Are you shitting me? First of all, shoot me. That sucks. But second of all, these college town, Gainesville or Auburn, these tailgates on Saturdays, folks, like make these towns years. These small restaurants, we drive from Chicago down to South Bend to go to Notre Dame games. Every home game weekend, man, that town was on fire. Those small mom and pop restaurants and bars and everything were packed. What did they do, man? So don't give me this isn't all clear, folks. This is, again, whenever you see economic reports, ladies and gentlemen, if they weren't taken 3 seconds ago and the data wasn't computed 1 second ago, they're old. I just don't. So this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, when you got to start trimming your sails for the sea conditions that you're forecasting. Right? JT, that's a great point as well. What do you think's going to? I mean, Governor Cuomo and De Blasio already led with this. What's going to happen to your taxes, ladies and gentlemen? They're going to go through the effing roof. Because, of course, public schools, oh, wait, they're closed, and you're more or less homeschooling them. And the police aren't responding. Police aren't. I'm serious. When I get out of Facebook jail, I'm posting on the Boca Raton Mayor's page. I'm like, can you? I'm not paying taxes this year. My car was stolen. One of your detectives said, yeah, it's in Boca. We've seen it a couple times driving around. I'm like, excuse me? No, we're not doing felony car stops with COVID. I'm like, what the? How about you call me, detective, and tell me when you're behind my car? I'll get it. Why am I paying taxes? Elizabeth, our Nashville taxes just went up 37%. Ladies and gentlemen, look at Minnesota or Minneapolis. The mayor requested like $500 million emergency loan due to the peaceful protest. Donald Trump said, you can shove it. Not paying for the damage to your city from protesters. You're a coward. You told your police to leave the precinct. You're a coward. The tech, we talked a little bit this week that money flowed out of tech a little bit into the financials to trade them, which made sense. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, folks, get ready for your taxes are going to go through the roof. For what? I'm really not feeling I got a lot out of my government, and they're going to demand higher taxes. I mean, that's Donald Trump's got to be able to hammer that point home when he meets Dementia Dude. Like, dude, you're going to crush this country with higher taxes. They ain't really getting a lot out of the government now. But a stupid Democrat's answer to all of this is what? We need bigger government. This proves that we do. And a person with a brain looks at them like, are you retarded? What? Went in a hole, cease digging. But they can't. That's the way they're wired. Just spend. Exactly, man. They're just going to spend and spend and spend. So the brightness in earnings will come from the tech. Yeah, no, exactly, Jeff. A matter of fact, at 4:00 today, I'm going down to the Broward Sheriff's Office HR building to get my picture and my fingerprints and my badge, baby. But I was the other night. I was out with some of the advisory board members, and they ain't doing issuing tickets or pulling people over. They're not. They're not. Their revenue is, it's not good. Yeah, exactly, Ray. That's a great way to put it. Dems love to bribe voters with their own money. Okay, Disney. Here we go again, folks. Earlier in the week or last week, they upgraded Disney opening, and yay, Disney in Orlando. What? It's the COVID capital of Florida, and they got upgraded. They're going to close again. but I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm sick of touching the Disney stove. This is like an earnings trade for me, Disney. I hate being right and losing money or not, you know. I'm on the Sugar's, the Broward. They've been asking me to do this for years, to be on the advisory council, like the board. Uh, but guess who was the sheriff at the time? David Israel, that human piece of shit, coward. Broward, you guys remember the Stoneman Douglas, the high school shooting, right? School deputy, like hid in his car, and the female captain that showed up, like established a perimeter, and they all sat in their cars as like they just listened to gunfire and kids get slaughtered. And Sheriff Israel, I'm not responsible. I wasn't there. I'm not responsible for that. He's a disgraceful human being. Finally, the governor got around to firing him, DeSantis. But no, as a board member, I get a badge, baby. Oh, that's going to be dangerous. I usually get out of tickets anyway, just because the military ID, but can't hurt. And you get like something on your license plate, like some badge. So yeah, that's why. I'm not peeking at it now. I hope I passed their background check. Okay, so I got to stick right now to being cautiously, not cautiously bullish. I'm sorry, neutral to volatile. I want to be bearish, but I'm going to put the bearish over here in a bin, kind of keeping it on alert. But I am not. I'm not even close to being bullish at all. This whole sideway almost every day this week. Almost every day, what happened? We get this 300 point rally at the open. That's what happens the day goes on. It's been nice. We've been doing some really good work trading SPX over in the Max Afterburner, and I didn't do it, but I was like, you know what? I'm almost going to put on a bull put spread today on SPX. Oh, futures are down 200 points. No, they're not. This market most likely, yeah, I put it right there. I don't. The market's an inanimate object. A lot of people like to say I don't. I say the market doesn't have a conscience, but at the end of the day, it's there's a feeling to this. There's a feeling to trading, and this is. When is the last time, folks, we've seen essentially, what is that? That's like a week and a half of that. Never. Look at the left side of this chart. Holy shit, we're all going to die. Screaming, no, we're all going to live. Everything's great. Everything. That is, look at that. A chart is worth 1,000 words right there, man. It just doesn't, that's extremely odd. I mean, it's been nice, like I said, to kind of day trade SPX. When the market opened down this morning, doing a bull put spread within the first 15 minutes would have been great. I didn't, but I just don't see the market doing anything violent, and there's really nothing going on for tomorrow. Well, yeah. But no, who cares about this information anymore? It's building permits, housing starts. They're most likely going to suck, right? So, well, Karen, that's the only thing that's keeping this up here. I'm telling you, man, if the Fed wasn't keeping us up here, the market, I guarantee you, this is all obviously a guess since it didn't, but I guarantee you, if this wasn't where we are today, the market would have imploded on the bank earnings. It would have pulled back because old market would have said, "Oh my God, that's the only way they made money was trading. That's short-lived. You could have been Helen Keller and made money last quarter. Where's the beef?" It would have sold the news on those. Now, years ago, I traded the home builders. That's a weird sector. I bailed out of, maybe 5-10 years ago. I trade XHB. So yeah, I mean, the market is okay with these type of numbers. 1.3 was forecast essentially. 1.3 was hit. That's like an adult dollar bill is a $20 bill. The $20 bill right now is the 1.3 weekly. So, yeah, well, I'm short-term neutral to volatile is my strategic mindset. Long-term, I'm bearish. Long-term is what? Not July. It's September, October. I got to figure out how to get rid of these ads. My ad blocker isn't working. Why isn't this working? I liked my white space on my other computer. On. It says it's blocking ads on this page and doesn't look like it. Okay, so let's go through. So on Monday we did Apple and MGM. MGM's looking good. Apple, I'm hanging on to, folks. It's Apple. It can move all over the place. If you could throw on a repair trade and put on a bear call spread out to tomorrow. I don't think that's a big move today. 5 whatever. I bought like 1,500 shares of Apple that are seriously underwater. I don't care. That's a longer term. Well, that's actually in Susie's account. I don't, maybe the 395. Let's see if there's any premium in a 395 bear call spread. So a repair trade, you could add. Clearly the momentum's down. Wow, that's pretty high probability trade. Geez. Well, the options are pricing in at not coming back. So if it's at your eject, it's probably too late to eject now. But to add a repair trade on top of it to take the sting out of that would probably be a very good idea. Probably should have done that already. But I like this one. Selling tomorrow, the 390 call. And in case overnight, in the blink of an eye or sometime today, Apple catches a bid, we bought the 392.5 calls to the upside. Okay. Max potential loss is 174. Max potential profit is 76, 68% probability. If you wanted to go a little bit more conservative to give Apple a little bit more room to the upside, the 392.5, maybe the 395 would be the more conservative one. I'm going a little bit more aggressive just because I think the bias, I don't see some massive rally out of Apple this week. I probably could have done a better job earlier in the week with the whole, I need to write that down for the next earnings season. Whenever there's earnings, you see this. It's a rotation out of tech, these high-flying tech names, to take a little profit and go over and trade the financials. Guess what's going to happen with the tech earnings? They're going to be blowout. Amazon's going to be a blowout, in my opinion. I don't care about Facebook. I hope it goes out of business. I hope everybody there loses their job. I can't stand it. Same thing with Twitter. I love the fact that they got hacked, especially all the blue check marks. Can't stand them. So hopefully they go out of business too. It is nice. They wish pain on me. Democrats, Bill Maher. I want us to go into a recession. I want Americans to hurt so they never vote for Trump again. Okay, good. Well, I wish the same for you. I don't turn the other cheek. I punch back. All right, I'm going to put this in my account. I'll put it, shit. Let me bring up Susie's. Brad, had to cancel corporate flight to Westchester, Colorado tomorrow. Ohio added to mandatory 14-day quarantine list. Como will fine me $2,000 if I don't fill out form and quarantine. Yet bordering states, New Jersey, Connecticut, are not on the list. Oh my God, man. What? I can't. Como should be charged with murder. He murdered those old people. in the old folks home. Packed those people in there. It was like the Holocaust. The man should be arrested. He's a disgrace. It's a battle between him and the mayor de Blasio for who's the worst Democrat human being in uh, 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 in New York. All right, so I got Phil. I legged into a Lulu Iron Condor for tomorrow. Let me put this apple on. I can't believe that, man. Yeah. Did you see? There's a bunch of businesses that are suing De Blasio and Como. I would have. I guess it took some time to get the lawsuit together, but I would have been suing the hell out of those people. Yeah, these businesses are suing, and they're right. What did they pay taxes for? What are you kidding me, man? You did not protect us. The police didn't do their job. I'll go down to this one. Yeah, it's I would have sued already. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I always do that, man. It's me not following my checklist. Oh, I got filled on it. I forgot the all or nothing. That's a great point. Hold on, let me put that in the model portfolio over here. No, I mean, I put that out to the Afterburner folks. I told them what I was doing with Lulu. Lulu's just it's one of those things that's just ignoring. It just ignores reality. Apple. Whoa. No, Lulu doesn't have earning. They already had earnings. That's why I think they're in for an outsized pullback. But it's been hit or miss for me with Lulu. Hey, Dave, I'm gonna next time they do a platform demo, I'm gonna ask them how do I set an all or none default. I'm pretty sure you can. It's under settings somewhere, but I'll ask Mike or Robert. I gotta set one of those up too. Exactly, John. We should. Somebody definitely should sue the mask makers. I love it. It literally says on the side of the box for the masks that you buy that it does not protect or do anything against COVID. But we all walk around with them like sheep, don't we? Let's just Baba Black Sheep, man. Let me bring the screen up over here. SPX. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to. I'll trade SPX tomorrow. I like the daily SPX trade. It's not kind of an overnight trade. Okay. Oh, I hate that. I can't stand when they break my trades up like that. Group them the way I you know. Oh yeah, Christina. I mean that's the government puts you on a guilt trip. You're right. You want your business open, you want schools, and you got to wear your mask. Can anybody tell me if masks are effective? Why the governor of California is releasing 8,000 inmates? Give them all masks. Somebody educate me. I love Democrats, man. I'm going to throw you in jail if you try and open your business, but I'm letting prisoners out. Somebody explain to me how they're literally, where are we? Kathy, I didn't get that was one of those examples of me not following my own advice. I didn't get filled on FXI puts, and then the damn thing imploded. That was one of those days I'm like, oh, I need to do that after I get done my webinar, and I didn't. So I'm kicking myself. But yeah, the FXI was fantastic. I'd stay bearish on that, folks. I think it might even go, it's going to head back down to that 50-day moving average. Yeah, and they're giving felons the right to vote. Isn't that fantastic? That's your Democrat Party. If you can't, like, you just have to have criminals and illegal immigrants vote for you, right? So, yeah, yeah. Where you open your hair salon, you're going to jail. But we're going to let go of somebody who's really a criminal because fear of COVID. You can't make this shit up, folks. If this was the old days, I would grab whoever came up with that and tar and feather them. We drag them into the county square. But we're, you know, we're not the country we were. All right. MGM need to cover. I think that's going to come in line. The casinos are going to shut down again. Period. It's a fact. MGM popped this week on reopening the Borgata in New Jersey. Have you ever been to the Borgata in New Jersey? Well, it is the nicest casino in Atlantic City, but it's gross. So I fully expect MGM to come in line here. What do I have? I have a 18 and a half. MGM 18 and a half bear call spread, 300 contracts. That one's up, or it's yeah. So I have no problems with MGM. MGM's a hold. Yeah, we can look at the Raytheon. I wanted to sell into that pop the other day. I think some folks in the Afterburner group did. We're going to hang here in Raytheon until we get. I mean, that was good news this week. That was a huge contract. But then it's back to this, you know. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna if you want to buy some calls out to September or October for the drink acronym, not a bad idea. Put them in the filing cabinet, but there really isn't any premium in the spreads right now. There are, but you got to be pretty damn close, right? The options market isn't stupid. They're not going to pay you a lot to put on a bull put spread down here where everybody thinks they're support, right? And it's dangerous to put a roof on Raytheon. Breaking news, 500 Patriot missile batter shot, and there's 500 million in revenue Raytheon's going to get. I'm going to take a break on Raytheon. The only thing I'd probably be doing is buying some calls out to the fall. All right, so we talked about Lulu, we talked about MGM, we talked about Apple. What did we do in primary? JP Morgan. Oh yeah, we sold a bear call. I'm filled on that, right? The 98 and a half. I might put on a repair kind of bull put spread. I don't think the financials are going to implode by tomorrow, but they are going to kind of continue, here. You could sell another bear call spread on, what do I have? I have the 98 and a half. Is that what we covered in the brief? Oh no, we did the 100, 101. All right, that one's pretty good. Susie doesn't though. I do. I have that on. Those are all phantom trades. That paper trading account is awful. You know what? Let me. She doesn't have enough. Let me do it over here. We could do again. I don't think we're going to massively implode tomorrow. We slide into the close on Fridays. Success rate has been taking a hit. I'm not scheduled to fly tomorrow, which sucks. One of the jets is undergoing maintenance. And yeah, exactly. I was going to do an iron condor on JP Morgan anyway. Mike, could the SIN stocks get propped up by the invisible hand of China? I don't think so. No, they're traded over here. Chinese casino stocks. So Chinese PBOC would not be buying MGM, Wynn, or Las Vegas Sands or Caesars. As a matter of fact, they probably want to try and put them out of business or put them into the dirt. So let's do a bull put spread on JP Morgan. JPM. It's doing a pretty good hover. I mean, I don't expect them to implode for tomorrow, July 20th. I don't think there's a lot of premium though. What's that? moving average at 96. I don't think there's any. Again, this is like very tactical trading. This is like technically kind of a day. Yeah, there isn't any print. You know what? I'm. If anything, I'd add a bear call spread on it. So. Kathy, E-Trade is calling the two Apple trades original repair and iron butterfly. Is that the same as iron condor? No, it is not. It's the exact opposite. Oh yeah, David, I forgot about that. Goldman Sachs. Yeah, I'm not gonna. We could stay in the name. I haven't traded Goldman Sachs in a while. I'd rather stay in J.P. Morgan since I follow it. We, you know, I don't think the financials are going to implode, but I don't think they're going to explode. I'd look at a bear call spread on J.P. Morgan out the next Friday. Yeah, I saw that report this morning too. Russia's trying to hack into our COVID research stuff. How about Florida, folks? Some of these testing facilities have reported 100% positivity rates for like 3 weeks in a row, and even the state's like, that's statistically impossible. Oh yeah, we forgot to include all the negatives. What? What if China, Russia is hacking in all this shit and artificially inflating all this stuff to damage Trump? Right? Um, I absolutely. If I were Trump, that's the tactic I'd use right now. There is Russian interference in this election. They're actually hacked in and they made all this COVID shit high. You want to see the Democrats' face melt off? They ain't. Uh, you know. Wow, look at that. The 30-year mortgage, lowest level ever, 2.98%. Wow. But yeah, I don't think the financials run here. I think who's left? Wells Fargo or something like that? Brian, I don't think he can do. I don't think he'd do that. I don't think the president's going to call a state of emergency just before the election. You think the Black Lives Matter bullshit riots were bad? It would be bad. So yeah, let's go out to next Friday. Let's see what the at the money straddle is. Uh, 102 to the upside. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's pretty damn close to the at the money straddle. Let's see what the 102. I'd probably go a little bit more conservative than that. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely look at this one. Karen, I'm still going through trying to get my home refied. Yeah, I'm with you. We can't even get we can't even move our paperwork. Did Wells Fargo report last? I missed Wells Fargo earnings. Who's left? Be a Citi? Did Citi report? I don't follow Wells Fargo and I don't follow E of A or Citi, clearly. Okay, so this is the one I do. I'd look to sell one next Friday, 103 call, and buy the 104 call to the upside. Well sucked. That's right. Yeah, I fucking man. These earnings are lumping together. And here's what's interesting. Like my bad memory, the market has a bad memory. The market ain't, once tomorrow's closing bell sounds, nobody even remembers the financial earnings. It'll be on to retail, tech, JP Morgan, 716. All right, so looking at a 30-cent credit, plus or minus, let's go about 3 cents wide. Eject would be 60, would be double the credit that I'd take in, and we'd look to take profit 789, 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit that we took in. Yeah, it's, I call my mortgage company. I'm like, if you don't refi and get this thing going, I'm going to, how about I stop paying my mortgage? How about I join the millions of Americans that are just not paying their mortgage if you don't get my refi moving? I got their attention. Ooh, it'll hit my credit. I'm like, have you not been keeping up on current events? So, um, Graham, get your popcorn for what happens for the first debate, Trump versus Biden. If it's anybody's guess how the market reacts, uh, I, I will have popcorn. I think Donald Trump's going to wipe the floor with them, and the market will react positively. The dude doesn't even know where he is. I mean, his debates with Democrats was an embarrassment, let alone, Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton was supposed to be a good debater and polished politician, and it was absolutely embarrassing. Matthew, I told my mortgage company the same thing. I was furious. I did. I told them, I'm like, if you do not refi my house, I'm going to go from being great dude to awful dude. Dan, a mortgage recast is a way to lower your monthly mortgage payment. It involves paying a one-time lump sum towards your loan's principal amount. In turn, your lender alters your amortization schedule. This resets your monthly payments without changing your initial loan terms or interest rate. Huh. Though the VA won't. Yeah. John, I'm with you, man. Be like everybody else and don't pay. I'm usually that type of idiot. Like when something like this is going on, I like stick like, hey, I'll be a good dude. Now I'm starting to, you can kiss my ass a little bit. So, all right. Any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the ways, the VIX, still sitting here, 30s, upper 20s, 30s. It is not going lower. That's another barometer you need to look at here. It is, and we are ripe for. I mean, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. All it takes is something. A market overreaction is what's going to come next. These up 100, down 100 days are now we're getting into this up 50, down 50 days. We are spring right now. We are spring loaded. Okay, so guys like me, still hanging in Amazon. Guys, Amazon's it can move 100, 200, 300 points in a day. There was a time when Amazon was getting hammered and Jeff Bezos came out like every day for a week, not him, but physically the company came out and just made up shit. There's so much stuff going on in Amazon. If they wanted to boost the price, they can come out tomorrow and have some report that they're working on fill in the blank and the stock will pop. So if I haven't mentioned it, I'm not doing anything with it. So, John, said that you think that way. I also find myself questioning why I should do the right thing. John, I told you guys, some people I've had dinner with and some people I've talked to are shocked. They're like, dude, if we've lost you, we've lost this country. When you got a guy like me saying, you can have my passport, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be an American anymore. When you hear those words come out of my mouth, you should sit up in your chair and take notice. I mean, it's just, what's the point? We're not a United States, folks. Governor Gavin Newsom I can't stand California. I loved it. Loved living out there. Loved the flying out there. The people, that thing could fall off and float into the Pacific, and I wouldn't care. I could care less about the people in California or New York. They voted for idiots, and they're reaping. I do want to build a wall. I want to build a wall around New York and California and Chicago. Let them be their own shit shows. We kind of fought a war over something like this, right? I'm getting very, very close to being back to a states' rights, dude. I could care less about Minneapolis and Minnesota and your riots. How dare you ask for a federal bailout? I don't care. I used to care, man. It was great when I'd be flying before I'd go fly into Iraq. I'd hit a tanker over Saudi Arabia. One week it would be a tanker from McGuire Air Force Base in Jersey. Another time it's from Wyoming. It used to be so cool to meet up with a tanker over a foreign country and see it from one of the states, man. I was like, hey, what's up? Upstate New York, uh, you know, exactly, Leonard. I'd rather die of COVID than live in a communist USA. And yeah, it is Escape from New York, guys. I mean, my sister hasn't been back to her. They have a huge place out in the Hamptons, obviously, and they haven't been back to their Manhattan apartment. It's a ghost town. New York City, it is Escape from New York. So it's sad when I do say something like that on the phone to a mortgage company. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to not pay. I clearly can afford it, and I'm not. How about that? How about I take that money and put that into my trading account and start, what are you going to do? Throw me out? They're not. So, yeah, I saw that, man. Manhattan rents have imploded 40, 50%. So, Chris, I have no doubt you're a patriotic person. There's a lot of patriotic Americans in California, but the governor and the Democrats aren't one of them. When you give illegal immigrants health care and vote and driver's license and you treat your veterans like shit, I could care less about your state. I know there's a lot of patriotic people. I'd love to live in California if it wasn't California. I already did the math, man, because I loved the Central Coast, man. I was a Paso Robles guy when they had like two wineries there. Susie and I on Sundays used to hop in the convertible and drive down to Paso Robles, and they had like two wineries. Now it's like a wine region. I loved California. I'd move to the Central Coast tomorrow. Carmel, love those places. Yeah, I lived in uh, Orange County. I loved it, but now it would be I take a 30% hit to what I make every year and get what in return? Goose, patriotism is no longer relevant. That hurts a lot. I agree with you on this, but I am here to protect my family for 5 more years, so I have to make it work like a lot of TGO members. States' rights, exactly. Yeah, I loved it, man. Living in Central California, we made a left and we go out to the beach. We made a right. We went up to the sequoias, man. Went up to the mountains. I loved it. Loved California. It is awful. Tamara, I saw that Asheville, South Carolina, or North Carolina, whatever it was, voted to give blacks reparations. It's over with, guys. This election is no longer the election isn't about Trump versus Biden. This election is tyranny. It's freedom versus tyranny. That's it. It's just it literally is. There hasn't been a starker election in my lifetime. So. Yeah, no, it sucks. It is, yeah, Marxism versus capitalism. The fact that anybody seriously is thinking, I love Democrats, and here's how they think. The Dreamers, the DACA kids, they're not kids, they're 32. Anyway, the DACA kids, how dare you hurt these children for the sins of their parents? Okay, but you're going to charge me money for the sins, the potential sins of my great, 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 great grandfather? You can kiss my ass. I love using the Disney example when people bring up the Dreamers. So let me get this straight. If a mom and dad take their kids and hop over the Disney fence and get into Disney, you're telling me Disney just takes care of them, feeds them, pays them to live in Disney? No, Disney throws their ass out. But the United States, I wish we operated the United States like Disney. You jump over our fence with our kids, we throw you out. So it's just it's insanity. My folks, my mom and dad were Irish Catholic, John F. Kennedy Democrats, and then Jimmy Carter hit, and then Ronald Reagan came, and they became Republicans. So, anyway. Yeah, the Dow's walling around here, plus minus, plus minus. This is a no conviction market, guys. This is why I'm telling you, I got to run here, but this is be very, very careful right here. Okay, we're not going to do this forever. We're not going. This is looking at the left side of a chart, folks. We haven't had a plateau like this. 2 weeks of flat ever. This was this wasn't even that, because look at that. This was down, little gap, and down to the 50. That's not a. This is. I haven't seen this. I can't remember the last time. This is all that matters in market history, is that. But this has not been done in the past since the COVID crash. That's very, very, very telling. We are a rudderless market right now, and that's bad. This is not a bullish market. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly, Mike. The original slave sellers were Africans. I know. I'm not even gonna consider. I will not pay federal taxes ever again. Period. They start doing that shit. Nope. I'm just not paying. Oh, you'll go to jail. I'll be gone. You gonna pursue me in the Caymans, Uncle Sam? You can kiss my ass. I've had it, guys. I am up to here. So, all right, yeah. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how's the play? Let's end on a high note. Yeah, the answer is to sit on your. Rick already covered J.P. Morgan for about 15 minutes. Watch the replay. It definitely is a popcorn moment. If this is a saying in fighter pilot world that kept me alive for 15 years. If there's any doubt, there's no doubt. So if you have any doubt right now and you're sitting here with a little question mark on the right side of the screen, dude, sit in cash. Do not do anything right now. Remember, I'm going to say this again. This is how we're going to close out. I don't mind missing on a couple of bucks either to the upside or to the downside to get some confirmation. We are not going to hover here for another week. It's physically impossible. We got more, so we made it through the financial earnings and the market shrugged, and they should have, because as I briefed you this week, the financial earnings were stupid. They just, yay trading. Okay, Helen Keller made money last quarter trading. So now we're gearing up for, put your helmet and your chin strap on and put your mouth guard in, because we're getting ready to get into it. And remember, earnings are on the left side of a chart. The right side of a chart is what? California shutting down, Texas re-shutting down, Florida re-shutting down. So first of all, a lot of companies aren't giving forward guidance, but if they are going to give forward guidance, it can't be bullish. At least last quarter, they're like, hey, we're really thinking we're going to open the airlines and the cruise lines, and yay, life. Now it's back to boo life. So anyway, okay. Yeah, now the Dow's negative again. So let's take a look at SPX. What's that doing for the day? SPX. Yeah. It's a weird looking chart. Doing the serpentine, man. Yeah, this is today. This is Thursday. So more than likely, just sit on your hands and watch. That's what I'd be doing, other than what I've covered. MGM still looking pretty good. That's holding up pretty well, man, for everything that's bad. Did you see Carnival Cruise Lines yesterday? Or they smashed all these the Davy Days day trading group. Fantastic comical stuff in this. Came in, issued a shitload more shares. Did you see what happened yesterday? Look at this. This is Wall Street, man. I loved what happened. So all these people got in, day traded this thing, pushed this thing higher. What did Carnival do? They came in and hit the bid. They're like, we'll take all that, and here's a quadrillion more shares, and getting destroyed today. I should have briefed that yesterday in Accelerated Retirement. I heard it on my call, and I love that. People got wiped out today, and they deserved it. Jumping into a cruise line. Thing's a floating petri dish. It was a floating petri dish before COVID, but really? So look at that. You see that gap up, and then today getting hammered. That's trading, man. That's people, I'm going to go watch that Davy Dave thing because he was pumping that up yesterday, pumping, buying. Look at me, I'm printing money in the cruise lines. And boom, got absolutely destroyed today, down 7-8%. No, I'm not. Nope. I mean, to me, that's gambling. Literally, that's gambling, guys. So I'm not even. I don't even monitor the cruise lines anymore. We had some fun pounding them into the dirt on the way down, but it's not good. So anyway, okay, guys, interesting week. A lot of learning this week and a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'd take a break. I told you this last week going into Friday. I'm like, I need to get skinny. I need to get skinny in this market and get into a little bit more cash, waiting for the opportunity to pounce. Always, always, always remember that no trade is a great trade sometimes. And cash is a position, guys. It shows up on your screen. It's a position. And right now, cash is a pretty good place to be. I'm going to go reverse Ray Dalio. Remember good old Ray Dalio, legendary investor? Cash is trash over in Davos. And then the next week, everybody died, including his hedge fund. We didn't. So anyway, yeah, just exactly, Gary. Sweet. All right, guys. It was an interesting week. Week ain't over yet. Keep an eye on everything. It'll be an interesting day tomorrow. So thank you, Randy. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll talk to you next week.